Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. So for today, I'll be discussing about CPNG application or charter application. So this video is quite long, guys, but just uh, just finish it if you're really serious about applying for chartership. So I've tried my best to explain it in a way that's easy to follow, guys. But obviously, the process itself for of charter application is I will not sugarcoat it, guys. It will entail some effort. So that's why this video is a bit long. But in the end, if you are really if you're really serious with this application, then try to finish the video, and at the end let me know if you have further questions, because I've already explained it as much as possible, but obviously there may be some details that I've missed, or the details that you want some clarification. Send me a message. I'm happy to share some of my files that I've used in the application to give you some context. So yeah, hopefully this video, guys, will help you in your own journey of CPN's application. And note that also I've also discussed here not just CPNG but also NER application. So and this is required for us to practice here in Australia, specifically for states like Victoria and Queensland. So yeah, um, that's it for now. And then let me know if you have some questions. I'm happy to answer. Thank you. Bye bye.
Welcome back, guys, to this channel. So for today, let's talk about CPNG or chartered application. But before I go to that one, I think there's some confusion with uh, the credentials that we need to get here in Australia as an engineer. I had this same question as well before, but I was able to basically figure it out. So to make your life easy, I'll try to explain essentially what do you need to achieve in order to really practice your engineering profession here in Australia. So I'll start with the website of Engineers Australia. Now note that I am not affiliated with Engineers Australia. Basically, guys, I'm just sharing you my experience, in achieving the chartered um, status as a structural engineer. So hopefully you can get some lessons, some tips, and so obviously in this video I'll try to cover as much as possible. But if you have questions, that probably something that I missed or something that probably confusing you, then just leave me a message and then I'll answer it as soon as possible. So let's start with the website of Engineers Australia. Now you can see here, so you have this membership credentials for migrants. So can be confusing if you're starting looking at this at first time. So essentially, your journey will start with here, like in my case, like migrant here. So if I go to this page, this is really just talking about um, when you are a migrant and then you wanted to apply as an engineer in Australia. And this is for visa purposes. So basically, you need to go to Engineers Australia, prove that you are an engineer, and then you can proceed with the visa application. I did cover a video of this last time, but check that video. So this is really just looking at how to be an engineer here. So because obviously Australia doesn't know that you are an engineer, right? So you need to go to an institution like Engineers Australia to prove that indeed you're an engineer and then you're eligible to apply for a visa. So this is the whole thing here. So remember we discussed about preparing CDR, competency demonstration report. So this is about this. So in my case before I applied for a visa, I completed the CDR, and then I I received email from East Australia saying that yeah, you are indeed an engineer, structural engineer. Then we're happy for you to basically use this as proof to your immigration application that you are engineer, and then you can apply the skilled migration pathway. So this is this. Check the other video of creating CDR if you want some details, but this is the basic, the first step. And then at the end of this um, step, actually, you can now, if I go back here, let's go to membership. I think I've opened it here, membership. Yeah. Let me just go back here. Membership. Now, for membership, once you uh, completed the assessment for migrants, you can actually continue with the membership. You just have to pay some extra amount. Then you can now be a member of, like a member of Engineers Australia. Now, there are some benefits of being a member of this. Obviously, Engineers Australia is known here in Australia. So once you're a member of this organization, then you can put the post nominal MIE AUST. I don't know if you've noticed that post nominal on other people. So essentially, for probably for recruiters or for other people, if they say that see that post nominal, they probably say, okay, you're a member of Engineers Australia, so we can probably safely assume that you've been assessed properly, you're an engineer. So basically, it provides like a additional level of how to say this integrity of your engineering profession. So you can apply for the membership, and then there's note that there is a annual this is like a subscription service from East Australia. Then you get a lot of trainings in um, in regular intervals, and then you can update your CPD. And most of those trainings are free anyway for members. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is once you're done with the migrant assessment CDR portion, you can apply for a member. It's not mandatory, but I applied for membership. It doesn't take any really further action. Just really just yeah, say that I want to be a member. So and then pay the fee. And most companies in Australia, by the way, they will pay this for you. So don't worry. So like the yearly subscription, they will pay this for you. So it's also a benefit for them, knowing that their employees are actually up to date to engineering standards or engineering practices or trends. So that's why they're happy to pay for this. So I recommend to be a member of Engineers Australia. I get a lot of benefits from this. Like example, yeah, they've actually written here. So professional development, conference event, yeah, these are actually correct. So yeah. Now one thing is being a member, and then there's another thing like following the um law of wherever state you are. So in my state right now, I'm in Victoria. You're actually mandated to be registered. It's a new mandatory registration. So in my case, civil structural, we are required to be registered in RPEV, registered professional engineer Victoria, by before October for us to practice our engineering profession. So let's talk about that one before we go to chartership, because it can be confusing from here. So I try to explain as much as possible, as clearly as possible. So done with this, now let's go to credential. So we understand this migrants, what is this? Membership, we understand this, and then let's go to credential. If I go to credential, in this section, so you have two options here. One is registration, one is chartered. Okay, let's talk about registration first. Then let's talk about chartered. Registration, so you can see here National Engineering Register or NER. And then you have state registration, areas of engineering, and then so on and so forth. So you can explore the website, guys, if you want. But basically, in summary, what this saying is if you want to work as an engineer here, you need to be registered. And mm, not all states actually are requiring us to be registered. Like example, I know WA is still in the process of having this registration. We have for RPEQ, so Registered Professional Engineer Queensland. So if you're in Queensland, you want to work as an engineer, you are required to be registered. Um, we have also for Victoria RPEV. So basically just RPEQ, RPEV. So uh, if you go to I know New South Wales also following. So RPNSW, I think. So RPE NSW or RPE West WA. So again, the trend, guys, is most we could probably expect that in the future all of the states will follow. So but for now we have mandatory registration for Victoria and Queensland, and then soon WA and New South Wales will follow, I believe. So now question is, okay, Jules, I finished the my grant assessment. That's done. Then I'm happy to be a member of Australia. I completed. And then what's next? I wanted to work as an engineer. Now you need to do this registration. And so it's basically easy, guys, if you've already completed the migrant assessment, because really this is just a continuation of of your application. Remember in if I go actually if I go here, let's go to NER. So basically this is a register. Once you completed this, you can be searched publicly. There's a website, and then your details are there, and it gives some assurance to the public that you are, if we engage you as an engineer, we are comfortable that yeah, you are competent as an engineer. So it gives really a good value for us. Now obviously we want to be included in that list, yeah. So and then there is a process of applying for this. Now I have a read through of this site, guys, but really, let's go to directly to there's an assessment fee. So obviously there's a fee. Have a look on this. If you're an Engineers Australia member, so obviously it's a bit cheaper, 351, and then you have your depends on the area of practice. You can have a look on this. So say you just wanted to practice like in my case a civil structural engineer. Yeah. So you have some required documents to provide. So CV, which most probably at this time you already have this anyway in your migrant assessment. You've prepared this one, and then CPD. That's important. CPD. I think from memory, the Engineers Australia is requiring 150 hours for the last 3 years. Probably I'll make a video on this because this is a different topic. How to basically create your CPD. But they in a nutshell, you need 250 hours for the last 3 years. It doesn't have to be in over here in Australia. It can be in overseas or your previous experience. So don't worry about this. And surprisingly, if you look at the CPD requirement and the guidelines, 150 hours is really doable. It's easy. You can easily smash 150 hours. Have a look on the guidelines. So going back to the requirements. So this is really just a process, guys. So again, you have by this time you already have a account with Engines Australia, and then you'll do online self-assessment form just to rate yourself, and then there are some competencies that you need to rate yourself, and then you need two referees, your boss probably, or someone or who can vouch for your experience, and then there will be an interview with an assessor, and then you'll get your outcome. So that's it really, guys. So if you completed your assessment, migrant assessment, this can be just a continuation, and then that's it. You are now registered. After you finish this process, you are now registered with including in the NER. And then the good thing is once you completed this process, when you want to be registered in Victoria or Queensland, now note guys, RPEV and RPEQ, those are government, I would say government um, mandate. I'm not sure if they're government, but they are different from Engineers Australia. So, but the good thing is if you apply for RPEV in that case for Victoria, they will just look for the letter issued by Engineers Australia saying that you have NER competencies. So once you upload that letter and obviously some requirements like identity, etc., um, proof of identity, that's it. You are now registered. So that's the benefit of this. So once you complete this, pass it to RPEV or RPEQ, and then they will accept the letter, and now you're registered. So this is how we apply for NER. Now let's go back here. Okay, so this is because most probably some of you will be confused. So how come we have this registration and then how come we have the chartered? What is basically the difference? And what's the difference? What's the benefit to us engineers? So that's the main, because you'll be um paying, yeah. So you need to know what's in me on this. So okay, so I'll try to answer that question as much as possible based from my experience here. So just note, I did not go through to this process. I went directly to this. Now I'll explain that one. So I applied directly for chartered. Now when you applied for chartered, this is a lengthy process compared to this. This one is quick. This one is quick. This one is a bit lengthy. And once you complete the chartered application, all of these are actually a subset of this. You know what I mean? So when I'm a chartered engineer, automatically I'm included in NER, National Engineering Register. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is if you want to be direct, hitting multiple goals in one go to this. This is a bit lengthy, but assurance is all of this will just be included in this. The other way as well is if you are pressed with time, because right now government is mandating us to be registered, or else you cannot really practice engineering. Now probably go with this. Go with this, and then fulfill your obligation, legal obligation to be registered, and then later on go with this chartered. Okay, so now the question is, for the registration, this is quite obvious, yeah, the benefit, or else you cannot work, yeah. How can you work if you're not registered? So you need to do this as soon as possible, because we have a deadline for this, especially for here in Victoria. So you have to do this. So no. So this is easy to understand why we have to do this. Now, chartered. Why do I have to be chartered? That's a question. Why do I have to be chartered? What's the benefit of chartered? And why do I hassle myself to do all this documentation? Uh, you know. So okay, so I'll try to explain this as per my experience. I don't know with the other chartered engineers out there, but essentially, if because in my particular case, I'm working in a consulting environment, although like right now I'm in the client side, but still the environment still in terms of consulting services. So this being chartered will give you like a lot of advantage. Now let's not put it in a motherhood statement, yeah, or else it will just be really vague. Let's go to direct. So example, chartered. When I got my chartered status, there were really some changes in how, when in how they or how they interact with you. Uh, they see, when they see in your email that you are a chartered, they think that you are, how would I say it? You obtain like the most like you obtain um the most credibility in terms of delivering that project because they know that you are a chartered engineer. With that, they pay, more attention or more respect, during meetings. When you will notice that, guys, when somebody is talking like he is a chartered engineer, or you know that it's difficult to explain, but you can actually feel it that somebody being a chartered or compared to, somebody with not doing the registration, or somebody on this NER. There's a bit of a difference actually. It's a subtle difference, but you will notice that one. So, and also some of the actually most of the new job applications now, or maybe a promotion, they tend to include this requirement. I notice it lately. Example, if you want to be, apply for a lead role, or um, senior role, they will look for this. They will look for this. They're not looking for this. Definitely, this is like a minimum requirement, yeah. So you need to be registered. But if you want to be get ahead with your career, they will look at this. So that's the main one of the main things that I noticed when I had my chartered. So, and also when some some of the clients actually, they are increasing actually in terms of number. They require like a chartered engineer to sign all the documents. I can see that, especially in the consulting services, they wanted like at least a chartered engineer to do all the signature. So now, if you're not a chartered, so you definitely you cannot do that task, yeah, or additional role. So I I recommend guys to apply for chartered. And so after doing this, for the sake of, because of we have mandatory registration, you can go this, and then don't forget to go to this level, and apply for chartership. Now, let's talk a little bit of this, but this will probably take time, but I'll try to talk about chartered application. Now, you can see here, guys, you have basically two options. If you are within 5 to 15 years experience, you do this. If you are beyond 15 years, a very experienced person, engineer, then do this. Now, I am in high level. This is easier. This is easier. So because obviously you're very experienced, right? It's 15 years. You're probably like a senior principal in your firm, and then it will just entail like provide us a CV, get it verified, and then there is like a form, self-assessment form that you need to fill out, and then there will be an interview. So this, if you are within this group, I recommend, yeah, apply for chartership. It would be easy for you. No, there's no much requirement. But in my case, I'm within this group. So let's have a look this. Okay, so process, probably let's go to payment, yeah. Fee. By the way, guys, you have to pay. You have to pay. And it's a one-time payment, and most of the companies will shoulder this pay. So don't worry about this. Talk to your superior manager, your boss. Definitely they're happy to take this on board because they're, it's also good for the image, yeah. Having chartered engineers working on their firm, so most likely they will sponsor this. Now, post nominal, if you're in this case, we're talking about professional engineer, you will be having this post nominal CPNG. Okay, so this is the process. So one, two, three. Okay, so I'll discuss one by one and how will this go. So, but anyway, your assessor, assigned assessor, will actually discuss this to you as well. So the process is self-assessment. Now you go to the website of Engines Australia, and then there is a link there for chartered application. Now, this self-assessment really is basically rating yourself. So we have 16 competencies that we need to rate, and let me just open that one. Okay, so it's okay. So this you can download this in Engines Australia, but I can send this to you if you want. But this is readily available. So you have 16 competencies that you need to prove. Now I'll mention the 16. So element of competence, then you have this like a guidelines of how to basically prove this one, or yeah. So one is deal with ethical issues. That's number one. And then there is what is this? This is what is this competent means in practice. So just really a guideline of what is this, and then how do you know that you've attained this? So example, um, you appraise and respond appropriately to ethical dilemmas in your practice area, or seek appropriate advice and consult Engineers Australia Code of Ethics. So basically, guys, the competencies from Engineers Australia to be a chartered is they provided us like a guideline of how to know that you are actually like if I go back to this, how will I know if I'm developing, functional, proficient, advanced? Because you need to do like a self-assessment. Now you have four stages here: developing, functional, proficient, advanced. Now, in order to be invited to apply, at least you are proficient. At least you are. So if you feel that you're still developing, that's fine. That's okay. That's okay. So if you put there developing, so obviously you will not be invited to take the chartered application. Yeah, you will not progress. Then you wait some time until you achieve that competency. So so at least you need to be functional. And then if you're proficient, then you can go proficient, or you really advanced, you can put advanced. So this is just self-assessment, right? So you can actually put all functional, all proficient, or up to you, all advanced, up to you. So this is your self-assessment. Now, because this is subjective, yeah, so it's from you, yeah, from you. So out of if I go back to the competencies, so example, ethical issues, yeah, I think I'm proficient. Practice competently, yeah, maybe I think I'm you would say probably I'm advanced, or so up to you. So because it's just a self-assessment. So responsibility of engineering activities, and then develop safe and sustainable solution, engage with relevant community and stakeholders. Probably here you would probably say, okay, probably here, probably I'm still developing. Now in that case, that's fine. And then just note, the good thing here, guys, is even if you're still developing, start the process, because in starting the process, you will know exactly what's needed. Like example, um, engage with relevant community, and then when you read this one, and then you feel, okay, I think I'm still developing. Now how will I achieve this? Now look at this, so what are these? So take into account the lines of others. or whatever it is. So then you start thinking, maybe next time during the one-on-one with my superior or line manager, can I probably make this as a goal? Then I'll actually I've followed the similar approach, guys. Like when I started looking at this, some of the competencies I still don't have. So I've asked my manager before, like, hey, I'm I wanted to be a chartered, and it seems that say example, competency number seven, legal and regulatory requirements or whatever, or competency number six, I feel that I lack on this. Can you give me some, some work so I can achieve this? Or so be open to your line manager or whoever. So for you to achieve this. So that's the tip here, guys. Start the process and know which of the competencies that you're still developing, and uh, be proactive. Ask your manager to give you something that you'll get these competencies. So I just ran here the competencies, guys. So number six, identify, assess, manage risk, and then legal regulatory requirements. Then you have communication, performance, taking action, judgment, advanced engineering knowledge, local engineering knowledge, problem analysis, creativity and innovation, evaluation, and yeah, that's it. 16. So now let's go back to the process. Let's go back to the process. Yeah. So self-assessment. So it's quite easy to use. There's a video here, so you can have a look on this video. So you check. In my case, I think before I just put functional. I put functional. Maybe some I put proficient. But as I mentioned, when I started this process, some of those are really developing. It took some time for me to achieve those, and then the next time I visited the site or my application, I just said, okay, I'm functional now. Now, next is industry review, because they need someone from industry to review your self-assessment, right? So the industry review, what will happen is each of those competency, you need to put some brief statement of evidence. It's not really like, I think from memory it's just 1,500 words. Just really some put some context. Example, one of the competency is, I think, is communication. Say communication. Put some words in it, like what's the evidence of of you attaining that competency communication. So put some words, and then you will assign an industry reviewer. Now, this industry reviewer um, would be your boss, would be your colleague, would be your previous employer, um, and it doesn't have to be that they are chartered, and they are not really required to be in Genes Australia. You just need like contact information from them, like email and I think number, phone number. And then, because what will happen is, when you put the name on it to review your competency, then they will Engineers Australia will send a link to them. They will receive the link. Just inform your reviewer that, hey, check your spam folder, because sometimes it will go to spam. So it's an automatic process. Engineers Australia will send a link, and then the reviewer will receive the link saying, okay, there's a request from this person, making you a industry reviewer. Can you verify that this is true, or do you agree with this, that he is indeed like advanced, or he is indeed like functional? So the industry reviewer will probably write a comment, and then he'll say, yeah, I agree with this, and then I think that he is not functional. I think, in my opinion, he is actually proficient, which is a good thing. So, um, yeah, because different person will have different views on you. Sometimes your view of yourself, you're probably thinking you are functional, but you are actually proficient. So, which is a good thing. The worst is, you said functional, and then the reviewer said, no, 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 you're actually developing. So that's the worst thing. So before you send the request, maybe give them a call first. But obviously, so when you do this, give the reviewer a call, ask for the permission, like, hey, I'm putting you as a reviewer with this. yeah, you happy? This is for my application for Insurance Australia. So, and a tip here, guys, is see, you have 16 competencies, right? So 16. Now, each of those, it requires industry reviewer. Tip is do not send all of these 16 competencies to one reviewer, or else they'll be upset to you because you're giving them a lot of work. Because what will happen is in their portal, industry reviewer, they they need to put some words, right? So they, it's not really just from them saying, yeah, I agree, and then saying, yeah, he's functional. No, that's it. They need to put some words saying, some context as well, why you say that he is actually functional or proficient as a reviewer. So if you imagine, guys, if you send all of the 16 to one person, it can be really hassle to that person. So again, tip here is to um, check all of your networks. So you have 16, at least select 8. So that way, you have like, for each reviewer, you have two competencies to review. And that is faster and easier for them to action. So that's the strategy that I've used. So I've selected like about 8, and then I said, okay, this person, I'll send you this person send you this, and then don't forget to follow up them, because these people are busy. Yeah. So just follow up like, hey, did you manage to look at my request? And then yeah, basically, yeah, I can appreciate if you can complete this by this time. Give them a deadline, so or else it will just linger on their email. So that's the tip. Or else you will not progress if you send it to like three reviewers. So they'll probably end up with about five, because 16, you have 16 competencies. So, and then once they completed all, then it will prompt the system that, yeah, each of your reviewer, they provided already. Then they will send you an email that, hey, you can now apply for for chartered application. Then you need to send all of these requirements. These are basically just photo, CV, CPD, and then your assessor will look at the documents, the one in your self assessment, those words you type, and also the response of the industry reviewer. Now, out of the 16, my experience was is they 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 were happy with like majority of the 16. Now there are like I think 5 or 6 competencies that they wanted more evidence. Like, so this is the evidence discussion. So they will say that, okay, Jules, competency 1, 2, 3, I'm happy, but I'm not sure about 4. Or can you provide some more information about this? Or not sure about 7, or competency number 11. Now, just if you can provide some evidence. And the good thing, guys, is they will actually give you like like a guideline, like what sort of information that they're looking after. So it will guide you to provide exactly the evidence. Now, once you completed that evidence, so you have this evidence discussion, and then you have this, you prepare the evidence, and then they assess. Now, the last is, you will receive an email from them saying you will go to the professional interview. That is really a positive thing, because when you receive that email, meaning to say you are really at the last step now. It's the professional interview, guys. I'll tell you, it's really a short interview, like 30 minutes max. And it's really just a talking about yourself, your experience so far. You need, by the way, you need to prepare like a presentation for this. And then the assessor is really kind. He will guide you to the process, so don't worry about this. And he will guide you about, what do you need to put in that presentation. They're not expecting you to provide, calculation graphs, Excel models. They're not after those ones. So don't worry about this, like professional interview. It can be a panel, it can be one person. In my case, it's just one person. And then I presented my some information that I have. Um, so this once you reach to this stage, I would say that essentially you are now a chartered, but really this is just a formal process that we need to follow. This is really just formality. Now, after the interview, they'll have some questions and then you answer. And those are just high level questions. Yeah, they will not ask about what is the formula. They will not they will not answer. They will not ask those questions, right? Because this is a different level. This is chartered application, so it's more high level and really checking, your ethics, so those things. And then you after this interview, that's it. You receive an email that you are chartered. And then congratulations. And now good thing is if you are chartered, this, then you can it's like once you're chartered it will open a lot of things. One is obviously for your work. uh you probably have you probably probably in your team you will be included in those list of people that potentially be promoted. That's one thing, or take some more roles, more responsibility. So, and the other thing is you can directly apply. So obviously you have NER that's included in the package, and then you can now apply for easily for well, in this case, APIC engineer. Go to the website, just upload the letter from Engineers Australia. It's automatic. You can be APIC engineer. Then you can apply for RPEQ, RPEV. Just send the letter that you are chartered, and then that's it. You're done. So um, this is a lengthy process compared to NER, but I think this is really worth it because anyway, after NER, you still have to do this chartered if you really want to. So yeah. Um, Let me know if you have clarification with this or question. This video is a bit lengthy, but I hope I covered most of it. And yeah, if I miss something, just let me know. So yeah, so good luck and good luck with your application, and encourage to really apply for this, and even just start the process, because you will see later on, if you start the process, what are the things that you still have to complete. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys, and hope this is very helpful for you. And yeah, send me a message if you need something else. Thank you. Bye bye.